All right, into another podcast. We've got Mr. Matt Leman, uh, an exceptional member who's joining us today. Absolutely fucking crushing it. We've just finished Winter Wars, and we are just talking about that actually offline, and how awesome it is as a competition. We'll probably create a highlights reel too. But fellas, I wanted to, and you've probably noticed lately, I've been bringing a lot of members on board to share their stories, and Matt's another one, but he's very unique in just a standard. Um, Love all the men in HBF. I'm just really blown away by the standard and uh, how much you've ripped in, man, the last 6 months and accelerated your journey, your way of thinking, your ambition. But nonetheless, mate, looking forward to ripping in this session. Thanks for joining us today, Matt.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yeah, can't wait to. Like I said, I was going to cancel again, mate, so I could just fucking leave you hanging, but I felt bad. But no, I've been meaning to do this with you for a little while, mate, and can't wait. I know you're coming to Cozzy as well, which will be epic. That'll be so good. But I guess, mate, like all the guys, what I really love is diving into you, man, your journey. A bit about yourself. We were just talking about the kids earlier before we hit record, but I'd love for you to share, a bit about yourself, your upbringing, your background, and whatnot. And then we're going to dive into, this crazy game of life, mate. Being a business owner, ambitious to provide financial fruit for the family, and then assessing that. Do I park it? Do I push? What's it going to cost me? Where are things at? I've got the missus. I've got the kids. I've got my health. Fuck, it's a crazy game, man. It's one that we know how to win, and that's what HBF is. But geez, it's a crazy game, mate. That's for sure. But yeah, Matty, share a bit about yourself, man, and let's dig into it and rip into an amazing episode.
Easy. All right. Yeah. Look, I'm a middle child. I have a younger, older brother. Hectic upbringing. Look, we're still in the same town that we were born in, so love it. It's a small sort of town, country. It's not really overly country, but yeah. So we've sort of grown up with a crazy little lifestyle. We were full of beans, the three of us. I've actually have recently apologized to my mother what we put her through. But yeah, mate, it was a awesome upbringing. Mum was mum's Catholic, we are, so we were dragged to church every Sunday.
You fall asleep like I did, mate. Unfortunately, I remember there.
Exactly.
Just Dad looking at me and elbowing me and like, wake up.
Yeah. That we went through all that. So yeah, look, mum's look. I know all guys say it and some don't, but obviously, man, my mum is an amazing woman. What she taught us, her values, just rubbed off a lot. Dad was a hard man, fair man. Hard again, did I say that? Yes. But yeah, look, I guess he had to be. As we grew up, we were wild, us three boys. So, but we survived. Had certain family members sort of say, "Don't know how you all lived." So that was a compliment, I guess. Yeah, look, Dad was a very hardworking man. So I thought back through the 80s. I watched him work 3 jobs to provide. And just, man, he never stopped. 7 days a week, put us through private school when, maybe couldn't afford it, but they did. They just, man, the parents did an amazing job. So, forever grateful to them. So, and still awesome grandparents to this day. So, sort of dad's actually has been sick over the last few years. He's got a bit of a blood disorder, which he's been on chemo for coming up 4 years now almost, and refuses to stop. I've had arguments with him, and he sort of said, he goes, "What am I going to do? Sit at home?" So does his chemo, has 1 day off, and then just works nonstop. So he's actually, they just lashed out and bought themselves a new caravan finally spending some money. So they're away. So yeah, that's good. So really good, close family upbringing. We're all still live relatively close and spend lots of time together. So that was sort of the main upbringing with us. It was amazing.
Just on that, mate, like we've spoken about the old boy, and you're like, mate, I remember he just keeps working and he's having chemo and working, he won't stop. But it's like, yeah, it's a purpose for him.
Yeah.
The work ethic. Like what a what are some of the things you picked up from your mother and your work ethic's got to be one, mate, because you rip into work pretty hard as well. But that
Yeah.
is impressive what you're telling me about the old boy. But what are some of the things you picked up on from mum and dad, some
Look,
values and whatnot?
work ethic with dad, I think he probably, to be honest, pushed a little bit too hard. I remember, let's say, whether I was 15, I think actually is, I still remember the day, my birthday, it was like, yep, you're allowed to work, go and get a, your tax file number, whatever else, bam, go and get a job. So I was working at the supermarket. And I think I said to dad, oh, I want to play cricket. He goes, what for? He goes, just work. He goes, what for? You stand around all day, you may as well get an extra shift at the supermarket, get extra money. I'm like, oh, okay. So, work, work, work. And look, always certain extended family members have done really well. So maybe I got a bit of money hungry from that, but it's always, it is nice to have money, especially when I was a kid. And, if I ever borrowed $20 off dad as a kid, yep, you owe me $20. Not that he didn't have it to give me, but he made me really understand the importance of money. So, look, I lived with mum and dad till I was 23, and me and my wife bought our first house. But I mean, I'm a spray painter, so automotive background, followed along dad's footsteps, and used to do a lot of backyarders. So he used to make some actually really good money, and he'd always say to me, he said, "Oh, how much you make for that job?" I'd be like, "Oh, 700." He goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Give me 500." I'm like, "Huh? What do you mean?" He goes, "My shed, my rules." He goes, "You'll get it." And it went on and on over the time, and I sort of twigged. He goes, "Oh, if I had $1,000 on a job, how much you make on that one?" And I got towards the end, I'd say, "Oh, 400." He goes, "Oh yeah, give me 700." I'm like, "I only made four." There was no pulling the wool over his eyes. So, look, he left school at 13 and worked. So, all he's done is worked, and I've watched him work. He's enjoyed life. We've done a lot of fishing together and stuff. So, but yeah, he put a very, very strong work ethic with me, which you know, it's it's good, but sometimes I'm like, oh mate, I just wish I could sort of relax sometimes, which I find difficult. So yeah, so I got to thank him for that, and sort of yeah, I guess we'll go with the thanks. So that
Yes, it's a balancing act, and you're sharing
yeah,
this because your son Jackson will listen to the podcast too, so he'll be very grateful that you're not charging him $700 for any odd jobs around the house, mate.
oh yeah. Actually, I had him at work, and we had parent teacher interviews, so we had the day off, and we'd run around. He said, "Oh, I want KFC." I said, "Really?" And I thought, oh, okay. Anyway, I'll let him go. He worked pretty well for the day. And we pulled up. He goes, "Oh, how much am I getting paid today?" I said, "Oh, we haven't worked it out." He goes, "Oh, Mum owes me $40." I said to him, I said, "Oh yeah, you want that?" I said, "Oh, where's your money?" He goes, "Oh," he goes, "Mum owes me 40." So I gave him. He said, "Oh, plus interest." He goes, "So yeah, you actually owe me 55." So I gave him 50. I said, "Okay, there's 55." We pulled up to the window. I said, "Now pay the lady." And he looked at me like, I said, "If you're going to charge me interest, you're paying for your own lunch." Look, which I thought at 12 years old, I thought, oh, okay, yeah, don't get too money hungry. But yeah, man, the kids are switched on these days. It's unbelievable. So that they are, man, they're smart. So, and that's our job, I think, now, which I've really stepped up to guide that smartness for good. So
Mm.
that's a big plan.
Yes. Yeah, you don't get anything past them, do you, man? There's this game, man, it's killing me. It's called Toca Boca World, and all of my kids love it. It's like they love, what is it called? Minecraft. Oh man, but they love this because you can do like little upgrades to little town and blah blah blah. And so they're calling them Toca tokens. It's like $2. But that's all the
Oh, yeah.
microtransactions, right? But I've got to click the phone or the iPad. It's got to look at my face to approve it. So they're
Yep.
like, oh, what jobs can we do around the house to earn some Toca tokens? It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, well, yeah, look,
Uh,
that's it.
They're like
Yeah.
5 years old, 7 and 9, or 6 and 9, sorry. But yeah, no, it's gold, mate. Solid insights already, Matt. Walk us through what I really love hearing is the journey, and it includes the struggle for sure, but the journey, for men as they move through their 20s into their 40s. So 23, moved out, bought your first house with your wife. Obviously pulled some good work ethic and values and drive from the olds. But walk us through the next couple of decades, man. Like where did
Yeah,
life go? What happened? Talk us through obviously the kids and whatnot, and I
yep,
guess what
yep.
led to pre HBF.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, look, my employment started, I was in year 12. Uh, year 12, and look, let's say I had a slight run-in with the vice principal mid through year 12, and he sort of said to me, goes, look, I think it's best you recommend, I don't think it's worth you coming back next year. I said, yeah, well, me too. Yep, agreed. Don't It may have been sort of heated. That was on the Friday. I still remember to this day. I got on the bus, was heading home, and went, oh no, how am I going to tell Dad? I'm not how this is going to go down. I'm like, shit. This is I just yeah. I mean, I was almost stressed about as much coming on this podcast. So I walked in the door, and Dad turned around and said, Monday. He goes, Monday, you start work at Ashmore's. That's the business where I am now. And I went, what do you mean? Because I'd previously done work experience there. And he said, yep, no more school. You start work Monday. I just thought, oh my God, how good's this? I thought, oh, righto. I said, yep. So I started on that Monday, which would have been now 27 and a half years ago. So I started this shop. And yeah, eventually started with four brothers that owned it. And worked. So after 23, yep, built a shed at home, worked so many weekends just to try and build up some money. And I was busy. Anyway, 14 years into where I was at Ashmore's, I sort of said, I've had enough, I'm out. And they gave me the option of buying in. So I bought into the business at a 25% share. Then we sort of slowly chipped away, and we bought one of the brothers out, and then another one. And I've actually only got one of the brothers left, so we both own the business. So that was a good thing. So we work well together. That was look, and that's a lot of my life really. Based it a lot around work. Put a lot of time and effort into it, and it's paid off. Can't complain. So that's been really huge with what I've sort of achieved. Probably overworked towards. It was actually just before Erin was pregnant with Jackson. So stressful times, but it worked. But look, I think back now and I sort of shudder that the amount of work I did and left Erin to sort of, I was home every night, but I worked way too much and let too much sit on her shoulders during the first few years. Then we had a second child, Asher. Yeah, and I just focused a lot on work. I was very, very career orientated, and I sort of look back now and think, yeah, it was selfish, I guess. So I think we did speak of in my dream. I had big plans. You know, I think I've got as we all do, a brain that never stops. So I I actually have this funny thing where I literally plan out my future. And Erin just laughs. She goes, I don't know how you do it, make it happen. But as I said, it's, you base, I guess, you make them your dreams. And I had everything set when I was going to get married, a house, married, kids, anything I wanted, I'd just tell her and it would happen. But as I guess, it was setting dreams and chasing them. And every one I set, I just hit it, bam, 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 one after the other. She just sort of said, you're a freak with like you can foretell the future. But I guess it's not that. It's creating dreams and chasing them. So yeah, had some big ones. But I think as we spoke, one was I sort of pulled back and went, I think the dreams, which I didn't, as we said, I didn't give up on my dreams. I shelved them, which I had to do for the sake of myself and the sake of the family. I just restructured my dreams. and backed off on work, went from working 60, 70 hours a week to now maximum I do is 40. So which is good. And that just made a huge lifestyle change um with being married, with the family as well. I just, as I said, yeah. And it was pretty clear cut. It was that's the thing that I want to do and the right thing to do. So but yeah, that was a big move to sort of have something planned that I'd seen, and I thought, everything I get, every goal every dream I aim for, I get, and I sort of thought I was just throwing me dreams down the drain and giving up, but not really. It's You guys have helped me sort of realize that, hey, I haven't done that.
Yeah, well, it's tough, man, because you look at what is the dream? What is the goal? It's not that I haven't said it before, I'm sure, but just today when I was in the middle of a workout, something just hit me, and I was like, because I was investing in myself, my physical and mental, emotional well-being, training, all that sort of stuff, and then I just thought of my kids, and Roman's nearly 5, so he's 5 next week, and I got number 4 due in December, and it was just like a voice that just came through me. It was like, your children. So I talk about investing in yourself, but it's like your children are the greatest investment you'll ever make. And I was like, fuck, man, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah,
Like we look at investing in business or knowledge and personal development, all that stuff matters. But it's like
yeah,
that's the vehicle
yeah,
for. Like why I'm fit and healthy and strong and providing for the family is providing for the family, for the
yeah,
children. It's man, they're the greatest, but so many people. And that was off the back of some tough stories I'd heard where children have been neglected and fathers carry resentment to fatherhood itself, and it's fucking tough, and it's not
yeah,
their fault, but it's their responsibility with what they do with some of those voices that has them carry bitterness and resentment because your duties and obligations change, mate, once you become a dad.
yeah,
So if you look at
yeah,
some of the earlier podcasts, Matt, this is the year that we're supposed to be building our HPF ranch and running our own retreats.
yeah,
It's like, fuck, we're not
yeah,
there yet. It's like, shit,
yeah,
but fuck, man, I wouldn't change a thing. Like the service we're providing is really, really maturing. We've got some amazing evolutions coming this quarter as well, which is cool. And I've been present with my children, and even so much so that we decided to have a fourth through IVF. So it is interesting. But I absolutely believe that about you too, mate. You haven't given up on them. They're just parked whilst you. Because what is
yeah,
it like? A lot of the times, the dreams are something that we externally achieve as an outcome as a man that we have most control over. But it's like, well, most of us then lead to business, not your
yeah,
children and experiences, and maybe certain holidays that carry those experiences. And a lot of people, the goal is to get married, sure, but maybe it's to stay married and to never end the dating game too, right? Like marriage shouldn't end that, the playfulness and the mystery and everything that comes with it. But yeah, so no, it is interesting how HPF works in that way, mate, in
mm,
helping re-spark the fire for men, but reallocating your efforts because, as you know, mate, the dreams that you and I have spoken about for you and your businesses, whatnot, there's no reason you can't smash them in the
yeah.
future. You can always make more money and build bigger businesses as you get older. But the kids fly the nest, and that's so.
That's it. They're only kids. Yeah, they're not kids for long, are they? It goes quick.
Yes, certainly does. So how did you find fatherhood, man? So you've got 3 kids. What? So obviously, you're speaking about Erin and some of the stresses, obviously with the babies coming in, but still your workload and trying to juggle that. Like what? Yeah, walk us through fatherhood, man, and how it tested and challenged you, what you love about it, and then I guess I wouldn't say breaking point, but obviously you reached a threshold where you're like, well, hang on a minute, I fucking want a bit more out of life, or I've had a couple of uncomfortable points of conflict, maybe in myself with my wife. Like, walk us through that, mate. Like
Yeah.
fatherhood, the gift and the challenges it has been, and then what led to you reaching out to HBF.
Yeah, look, I mean, I was absolutely love being a dad. Just yeah, I mean, as most of you guys know, it's just an amazing gift that we get and we can give. So look, I was always present there. Same thing, home every night. Always did but I was rolling in home, 6 o'clock, 6:30. Well, when you've got little ones, you know that's not the worst time to roll in. I've had a stressful day, had a stressful day with all that stuff, and then you sort of roll in, you think, but look, in my mind, I was doing a good job. I sort of look back now and go, yeah, I probably could have done a lot better. So it sort of went on. So Jackson was great. We had another one, a second boy, which we both wasn't IVF, but they were planned. We had a bit of medical help to get that, and then Georgia came along, the third one, sort of as a surprise. So fantastic, best surprise in the world. She's amazing. And after that one, I think the stress of 3 kids with their and the kids take a lot out of you when they're that age. And look, me being at work, I think Erin came across a bit of postnatal depression with Georgia. And they were a couple of hard years. I took it personally, and we had a real tough few years, which, they were tough times. Even we can talk about it now, which is good. But look, I can sort of see, man, we struggled. It was just it was very difficult, and there's no way, I can see why marriages end. It was like that, but man, I could never walk away from the kids as well. I had a duty, so look, it worked out in the end. But then again, we're still working on it now. You know what I mean? It's no easy walk in the park, is it? So, and that was it. I think we got to that point, and that's when I sort of made the decision, change focus. I've got to focus on this family more. I've got to focus on, even Erin said, it makes sense now. She sort of said, all you do is work. You've got to find something for yourself. So I haven't got time, we use all the same excuse. I haven't got time for myself. I never did. I never really looked after myself at all. Treated myself like shit for a lot of years. And that certainly has changed now. So thanks to HBF. Jumping on here was a massive turnaround. There was a couple of years back, I just never looked after myself. There was a time at work I sort of went, I had a bit of a turn at work. I was just going way too hard, and I knew it wasn't right. I thought, this isn't good. So I went, okay, shook it off and went, okay. Went to the doctors. I said, I just want to get some blood tests. And he rang me 2 weeks later. The doctor was absolutely useless that I used, but anyway, he went through, your results are here. Yeah, that's good. He goes, what's your treatment for your heart attack? I went, yeah, I thought so. I said, well, that's why I came and got the blood test and said that to you. He goes, oh, okay. I'll go and do your heart test. So, okay. So I went did the heart test, a couple of things. And the doctor goes, oh, mate, your heart's strong as. I said, yeah, cool, thank you. So I walked out of there and didn't give it a second thought. I thought, just stupid shit like that. I used to love mountain bike riding. Broke my arm a couple of years ago and fractured it, and went to the doctors and just because they're going to be like, go and get it checked out. Yeah. Had a fractured arm, went, I haven't got time for this. Literally, and just let it, just did so much stupid shit. I was in a pretty shitty place. I had no respect for myself. And then you throw all the stuff like the drinking and everything else in that I was on a downhill spiral. So, and just was lost. Didn't know where to go. Just with, you put all that together, you could just sort of, if you can use that stuff to paint a picture, I think a lot of us guys put ourselves in that position. And we get to that point where the wife's not happy, the kids are hard work, work's hard work. It's just, it's unfortunately, it's becoming very common in society to be like that. I hope not, but it was for me,
Yes.
So,
It's a no, it's a common thing everywhere, man. Well, that's what I've seen as well. Like it's a lot of men with HPF, like who come in HPF. Isn't it funny? Like it's almost like challenges. It's such a common thing we see, man. It's like challenges with the missus. Oh, we all love our kids, but challenges with the kids,
Yeah.
neglecting your self care. Um, and if you do, it's never really the whole hog. Like you might train a couple of times a week, but you're still fucking 20 kilos overweight, man. Like that's a lot of information.
Mm.
It's so weird. It's like our number one value is just making fucking money because it sounds like you're still driven, you're still performing, you're doing massive hours. It's so crazy. Like at some stage in life, it almost becomes a switch where we don't know how to please our wife and kids. So we're missing the mark there. So we're not efficient or effective. We triple down on what we know, which is how to make money. We
Yeah.
think we can just tough it through mentally what is breaking down organically in us, like we're animals, we're organisms.
Mm.
It's like there's just no fucking light at the end of that tunnel, mate. Like even if you're alive still, it's like what's
Yeah.
what's at the end of that tunnel waiting for you? It's crazy, man. Like if you like you say common in society, not sure, but surely you've seen that like with other mates or other people or some of the men's
Yeah.
shares in age. Like what where do you think that is it is it that just the not the love for money, but that's the identity, making money? Like why do you think that happens, Matt? Like where do you think that comes from?
It's life stressful, isn't it? I mean, it's just is it what we've been made to think we should do? We've all got to be successful. You've got to do this, you've got to do that, and we've just got so much that we're told and make us feel like we've got to do, and that's it. And we sort of push through it and do it and don't think about ourselves. That's it. We always put ourselves last. A lot of guys just put ourselves last, and that's it. There was all for years. Guys don't talk about that shit. There's so many of my mates that I think about now. You just couldn't have that conversation with them. It's sort of like, oh yeah, shut up yourself, cock. Along those lines, isn't it? So we have no support, and well, a lot of guys don't have any support, and that's a massive thing. We just can't talk, and you think, oh, I'm not going to bring that up with the wife and tell her how I feel because, you know, where's that going to end up? And they've got enough stress as it is, let alone having to deal with thinking that I'm stressed. And yeah, life's just too hectic. We just let it get out of control. That's the issue, I think.
Mm. Yeah, it's tough telling the wife too, like women want us to be vulnerable, but I wouldn't
Yeah,
say they'd see it as weakness. But when we have, if or when we have those moments with them, the very first thing that goes through their mind is an amplification of what they think through every single day, which is fucking worry, fear, anxiety.
yeah,
Like they're emotional creatures.
yeah, 100%.
And now I don't
Yeah,
even have the rock in my husband. So it is tough, man. It's tough to tell our wives the struggles we go through. One, they'll never
yeah,
understand because they're women. They've got their struggles, we have ours. But two,
yeah,
it's hard because it can be detrimental at times, which sucks because it's like, man, then you feel like you're even more alone.
yeah, yep. And if they don't respond like you want or hope, it makes it worse. And and maybe I'd had spoken of times and didn't get sort of the response, or it didn't roll how I thought in my head. Because we think so much and think, okay, this is how this is going to pan out, and you think, oh, yeah, that didn't work. So you start to avoid certain conversations, I guess, because we're not the greatest communicators, but there's plenty of assistance now to working on massively on that communication. I just didn't, go back 3 years ago. I thought, I'd do a communication course, so I can sit here and talk, say what I feel, but yeah, there's so much to it, isn't there? So
Oh yeah, I remember. I think Rome was just born. Might have been COVID. So many years ago, or 5 years ago, just before 5 years. What was it? Maybe Christmas, 2020. Anyway, yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, well, it's just tough. Like even for an online business, like we do a lot of hybrid in person stuff, and I mean, COVID just shot everything to shit. But I remember sharing some of the struggles with Corinne, logistically, financially, like with the business, and I just remember going through, and it wasn't an event or dump, it was just sharing some real challenges going through because she asked how my day was and how things are going. And I remember looking up, this is with obviously love and respect to Crib, but I remember looking up Matt and just seeing this fucking blank stare looking straight back at me. I was like, oh man, it's like, you don't even
Yeah.
understand, do you? You can't even comprehend how
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
five, yeah, there's about five, maybe even pre-Roman. How close we were to dying as a company. I was like,
Mm.
mate, we were so fucked. It was so hard. Everything. No, it was after. It was when was COVID? 2021. Yeah. I was like, mate,
Yeah.
we are like in the wars, and I was never going to
Mm.
let it happen. But just the gravity of the situation, I could just see there was just nothingness from. I was like, so it's almost like I don't know if it was denial or what. But just there was. I was
Mm.
like, okay, well, if you ever want to know about work and HPF, I'm happy to share, but I have zero expectations.
Yeah.
Having
Yeah.
any input or insights or even empathy. It was crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not their fault, not her fault, but
No, no, that's right.
yes.
Exactly. And what I'm learning is, yeah, don't take that personally. It's yeah, we're both different species, aren't we? When it comes to certain things.
Yeah, man. Well, I couldn't. I mean, love that she helps and educates children. She's a phenomenal teacher too, primary teacher. But I don't know, man. Like 30 kids every day in a room.
Yeah.
That would kill me. But
Mhm.
she wouldn't last. The decisions I make every fucking day with this movement, mate, Corinne
Yeah.
would last a day. So it's
Yeah.
like that. It's like that respect of your strengths in your own right, which you're right. A lot of them are masculine, feminine bound, 100%. That's why we exist, to complement each other too. Yeah, tough though, man. What the third? So, oh, Georgia, she probably runs the house. Surely that the baby, a
Yeah.
little girl, she rips into the boys. Does she bite them and
Oh
stuff? Or
yeah,
just
yeah. I've got a bit of a plan at the moment to stop the Asher and Georgia fighting. So yeah, they're doing really well. So they yeah, we've got this game. Oh, did we win today? Yeah, yeah, great. They've actually, we let them stay up late last night because they actually sat there and played together really nicely. And I walked back out and Aaron's like, and they were
yeah,
just, and I just said, look, guys, I said, you can stay up late. You're playing so nicely. Oh, and they're all excited. So, it's just working out um, different ideas. It's a game of, man, how much are we constantly learning? Yeah.
oh,
So, and that was a good thing to stand there together, Aaron and myself, and just watch the kids play and just sort of, we just looked at each other and smiled, you know. That's
mm,
one of those parenting moments you sort of overlook.
mm,
You forget about the good stuff, and it's
yeah,
yeah, it was a good thing.
yeah. It's like fire and ice sometimes, mate. Lillian and Roman.
Yeah.
But I said to Corinne, if this fourth, because it's a girl, I said, mate, if she's anything like Lillian, mate, she's going to be an absolute monster. Oh man, because she'll be watching Stella, who's 9 years older, and trying to be her when she's
Yeah.
12, when she's only three. That's mate. It's like I
Uh,
said to Stella, any makeup, anything you have, I said your room will be destroyed. Don't worry about that. Like this little one is, and you can't. What are you going to do to it? It's just 9 years younger
uh,
than you.
yeah.
Uh,
I
it's
think I,
funny.
I think I'm losing debates with an 8-year-old girl. Yeah, it's just mate, it's so good.
That's gold. That's gold. Mate, walk us through because you shared some pretty deep insights, which I think is a really common thing. We just, I guess, as men, we get tunnel vision, and because we can produce in that area, we just triple down on that, right? And we just
Mm.
keep producing that area, which is typically work. What, where were things like with you? You were the kids balancing time, maybe the skill sets like you mentioned with communication, your relationship with Aaron, your physical health. Like, why did you reach out to us? Like, why did you reach out to HPF? There's just some bloke you're scrolling through on social media who he's probably fucking full of shit like the rest of them, right? But here we are. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm curious, man, on where things are at, and
yeah,
then what actually drove you. Because I love that. I love knowing a man's drive. That's awesome. It's very inspiring. But yeah.
yeah, yeah. Look, as I said, the last 2 years were pretty tough. We went through, well, even after that, we went through COVID. Man, Aaron had 3 kids, homeschooling 3 kids. When I say I was wild as a kid, man, my 3 are just next level crazy. The nicest kids you'll meet, but man, they're just non-stop. I think to the point where it was just the other night. It was bedtime with my middle one, and he's standing on his bed doing backflips to get into bed. I said, whoa, come on, calm down. And within 3 minutes, he's asleep. They just go to exhaustion. So yeah, she did that. That was a real struggle to get through homeschooling. So that there was some massive stresses through COVID, obviously. And I worked. I worked through, and that's shit sort of hit the fan there pretty bad. I think I pushed. Probably one of the issues was that was my, I'm a man. I'll work. I'll make money. So I worked extra hard. I encouraged Erin. Told her, I said, you may as well quit your job. You don't need to work. I can finance the whole setup. That's good. Which then she sort of came across to, she lost her purpose, which we've spoken of now. She had no job. She's just stuck at home. She's a mum. And it's like with postnatal depression, it's like it sort of it can spike. It was up and down. And I thought, and then I'm working so hard. I'm trying to do what I thought was right, which, work. And in my head, that was the right thing to do. I'm providing. And it wasn't. She needed a husband, and I wasn't there. So, to be honest, we had a chat. It wasn't an argument; it was a chat. And she sort of said, "Oh," I said, "Well, what should I do? Move out?" She sort of said, "Oh, might be a bad idea. Here's me. Packed the shits. Righto, went and packed my bags. Packed a bag. Still got a great relationship with mum and dad. I actually went down there to tell them, thinking that was going to be a hard thing. I went down to mum and dad and told them. They didn't say anything much. They just sat there and listened and asked a few questions. And within 20 minutes, I'm like, nah, not happening. Sort of something, a light switch flicked, and I went, nah. So I came home and said, nah, I'm not going to go. We're going to work this out. So we, started a bit with Erin. And that was not long after that. I think I did see one of your videos and went, yeah, just, you basically once, like many of you guys have said, you spoke directly to me. So I hadn't seen any of your stuff, signed up because I thought, and it took me a while, but I thought I've got to change. And I knew that I had to do a lot of work, and she'd told me, but in my head, no, I was fine. She was the one with the issues, with the shits up all the time. So I think I clicked on your thing, signed up, didn't do much with it, and then sort of forgot about it. So wasn't long after that I had a couple of emails back and however it worked, and had a chat with Naz. So I hadn't even listened to. So it was probably one of your 30-second videos that just got me. Jumped on with Naz and had a chat with him for, a good half hour, and he just had a chat, and I just went, righto, let's do it, because I just knew I was just at that point. I used to, I'd drive. I was just lost. I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to go to work. I remember nights that I'd just pull over in the car and sit there and just, I was nowhere. I was, as Erin said, you just get to this point where you're just numb. Love the kids, but just sat there in the car going, what am I doing? I was pretty, pretty fucked up. And that was the start of it all. So that was last year. Last year that all happened, and haven't looked back since. Yeah, it's a tough time, and just didn't know where to go, and found you guys.
Yes. It's no, mate, incredible share, and appreciate you opening up and being transparent, because it's not easy, man, and we all have battles and they change. They change as the men get older. It doesn't matter what age you are, though. And there's another kid, or there's perimenopause, or you lose your parents, and maybe they were a pillar or a rock for the family, helping you out with the kids. The kids get in trouble. Like, fuck, man, it's just never
Never end.
ending. I can see it. There will be never ending problems and challenges. in life. But you said you signed. Oh, okay. So you would have got like the marriage playbook or something. You would have got like a little like an intro or
Yeah.
subscribed or. But
Yep.
then yeah, Naz, what a legend. How good, mate. We did a 2-part session not long ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I did hear
Yeah,
his. Yeah. Mate,
crazy.
look. Yeah. Yeah. He's. Yeah. And that's it. Look. A half. Yeah, and I guess I was in that position where a half an hour chat with him was just like got from that from that initial quick chat, just picked me out of this. He just dragged me out of this hole that I was in, and I have not looked back.
Mm.
Like, I can't thank him enough for keep him on the initial consults, because he told me what I needed to hear. He told me what I could do and achieve, and he was 100%.
Mm. Yeah.
You just don't get to speak to, and which now, but in general society, we don't get to speak to people in that sense. And yeah,
Not with your best intentions at heart, right? And
no,
say it respectfully to psychologists or other people who are either indoctrinated or follow a specific
mm,
um, certified structure or pathway that like the university and whatnot, where maybe they do, maybe they don't, but again, man to man.
yeah,
And just to be clear, like, I mean, how do you even put a price on that, mate? Like the fact that you have that breakthrough and you completely change the trajectory, which has led to experiences your children didn't know existed that you've created. Like it's insane, like to
yeah,
actually try and materially measure or compare that. But for those who aren't on the inside with HPF, just to be clear, so when men reach out, you actually speak to a member. Like, so we've got several members that you talk to. So call it a consult, a game plan, a fucking strategy session, call it whatever you want, but that's who you speak to. Men who are walking the fucking path, who they give a fuck whether you pay money or not. They're here to help you, and if you're a great fit and you want to join HBF, of course, open arms. But I do like that though, Matt. Like, there's no fuckwits in HBF. I really enjoy that. And doesn't mean we haven't had to get rid of a few over the years, but yeah, I'd say with thousands through now, it's pretty good. I'd say be less than 12 or 13. So we've got a pretty good filtering process. But yeah, for guys
yeah,
who reach out, like that's why I laugh. I said, you said you spoke to Naz. Is like, yeah, man, like mate, he's like the living embodiment of HPF. Been with us
yeah,
3 years now. He's got podcast episodes which shares, geez, some deep and dark times. And
mm,
that's what I love. There actually is a real connection. And I talk with him every day. And there's this guy, mate, he's a great fit, but he's struggling here and here. So I'm going to help him with this for the next 6 months. And it's like, mate, that's awesome. He's not even in HBF. And Naz and Maddie
yeah,
and Birdie and Mike, they're out helping these guys. And mate, it's so fucking good. But yeah, it's pretty incredible. One thing you mentioned though, I just wrote it down here. It's such a funny perspective. When you said I need to change, like it just took a bit of
mm,
time, but then I realized I needed to change. I just want to say, and I think anyone who listens to this is quite open to it. Otherwise, you wouldn't listen to this podcast. But why the fuck wouldn't you want that perspective? Like, why,
mm,
why wouldn't you want to change? Like, there's nothing wrong with me. It's my wife. It's like, yeah, okay, I get that. But why wouldn't you want to still keep changing? Like, it blows me away, man, that most people in the world, whether you're blaming someone or not, or you don't think you need to change, or you don't think you're the problem, it's not even about this. Like, why wouldn't you want to change? Because if you adopt that mentality, that's like the spark, Matty, which drives everything to your favor within your power and control. Because if you're waiting for everything else
100%.
to happen, you're actually weaker. You're limited. You don't have influence. You don't have pull. That's why I think this is such an important perspective to consider. Because if you go within, life could be phenomenal. Okay, well, I want to keep changing and improving. If you maintain that mentality, man, you will always be in more control than someone who doesn't. You'll always have the power in your hands, on your side, and you'll have the ability to forge and engineer, just like you did, man, when you talked about your goals and your dreams. It's because you chose a perspective. So it was a thought, a belief system, an identity, which all tied into your actions, which all tied into the outcomes, which all tied into your focus, and that cycle many times. Yeah, of course you were the fortune teller or you had your crystal ball. It's
Mm,
pretty fucking straightforward. But so credit to you, and obviously you adopt that mentality. But yeah, I wrote here, why wouldn't you want to change?
yeah. I just thought that, and the big one was the old. I felt broken, literally. And then, it's like broken men raise broken children. And I thought, no, not happening. So broken men, have broken families. And that was massive. I just thought, ain't happening. And that's it. I felt broken, so I thought, time to fix me. And I'm fixing.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good. And it's been a long time. There was no excitement in life. And when Erin said to me for years, you need something for you, and we speak of HBF now, and she just loves it. And this is it. This is for me. This is my hobby. Loving, and she said, see, I told you needed to do something for yourself. I said, yeah, and this is legit. Like guys are playing golf, footy, whatever else. I never played sport because I was always working, so that always got back. Had nothing for me, never anything for me. So, and this is when you think about it, literally, it's my hobby, and I'm just loving it. Absolutely, there's just so much to, yeah. There's a life to live, and I wasn't living it. So, yeah, it's
Mm.
it's a good guide.
It's yeah, it's tough, isn't it? That just coming back, you got a bit emotional, man, around that word broken. Like it is a, yeah, like
Yeah.
I've got thick skin, man, but it's tough to look back at so many men. Oh man, fuck, so many men.
Mm.
It's hard, mate. I don't know where they are now, or if they're even here. But
Yeah.
credit to you, mate, for taking the right step, mate. It's a beautiful way to look at it, though. A hobby, mate. It's what an
Yeah.
amazing hobby. Personal development in yourself, your challenges, testing. I wonder what I could do here, and you're working on your body. You're working on your communication skills, your mindset. You're looking at how you
Mm.
can tweak your leadership with your business to help those around you
Yeah.
who look up to you. Like it's, mate. I'm the same as you, man. Like I Corinne got me a golf set for my 40th the other week, but and I'll try and play maybe every 1 or 2 months with my brothers. But other than that, man, I just love how what I do professionally with you, man, is
Mm.
like that's like a hobby to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm so driven with all the stuff I keep building, but also it's like, mate, it's so awesome. Like that personal development just for you to do whatever you want, just you, not get the car out,
Mm.
drive one weekend every 4 months, get your jet ski out twice a year.
Yeah.
And I've done all that stuff. I just love working on myself, not so much the external things you have fun with. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Good way
And
to put it.
yeah, well, and it is. I mean, and a hobby is something you enjoy, and I guess maybe I'm in that sense, but how much I'm enjoying it and learning. I always say to the boys, and with school, I said, mate, if I could go back to school now, I would have loved it. I just would have put in so much more effort. But with this, I'm putting in so much effort because I'm enjoying it. I'm getting and what I'm learning from it. It makes you feel good now, and that's it. It makes me feel good, and you know that's a hard thing to do. I think as a business owner, dad, husband, for you to actually finally feel good, you can't beat that.
Mm. And then the ripple effect to others. Tell us,
Oh,
man. Like you said, Erin loves HPF. What, walk us through any examples. What she said, any experience or stuff that you guys have, I guess, walking through now with HPF.
which I was excited to tell her about. There was some stuff we were talking about, and I was all excited, and she goes, "Oh, well, yeah, you haven't really told me exactly what you do." So I was going through it and explaining certain situations, which I didn't see where this was going to end up anyway. And she got really upset because she's like, "Oh," she goes, "Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying," and sort of bringing up struggles and dealing with stuff, and she turned around and she sort of goes, "Oh, well, fuck you. You've got HBF." She goes, "Do you know what I've got as a woman? Nothing. I have scoured the internet for to look for stuff for personal development, everything. She goes, there's nothing. And you've got this all laid out for you. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it almost upset her that this is here. And she honestly has, like, she's doing so much work, and it's hard, and that's legit. She was just like, oh yeah, fuck, you've got it all. It's just all there. I've got nothing. And I'm like, and then I felt guilty. I'm thinking, oh shit, where am I going? How do I save this one? Yeah, but it worked out in the end. But I thought, yeah, it is. It's just a one-stop shop. Just bam, you've got it all there. So, and now, yeah, very encouraging with it. At the start, I sort of thought, oh, what's she going to think of this? And the kids know all about it, and as you know, the kids are so involved with it. My middle one, Asher, loves Eric. If I've got a video of Eric on, I'm like, can you understand him? I said, all right, come and sit down and listen really carefully, trying to his accent. At the start, I think, right, Eric's the coach. I'm thinking, holy shit, how am I going to go with this? But mate, I can, now it's like he's, I can, but at the start, that's one at the moment. And then, as a 10-year-old, oh, what's he talking about? It was only on the bed last night that he was listening. And then we had a chat about what we were talking about, ambitions, and, so it's how it all flows on. Yeah.
So good. Well, if you're Asher, I think he said he's 10. If he if your 10-year-old can understand the big German powerhouse, Coach Eric, mate, he'll and he's driving ambition and goals and whatnot, he'll be crushing, mate, by
Yeah.
the time he's 15. But yeah, it's something I always thought of. Not that love Eric, mate. He dominates, man. The Titans. So he looks after the Titans squad. I'll have to get him on again for sure. But something I was always interested in when a guy joins HPF, typically in some ways in a bit of distress, whether it's stagnated in life or, just different parts where they've felt the need, and then they've got this big. I don't want to imitate and fuck up his accent. I'm not going to attempt it today because the boys will rip into me. So yeah, you get the big welcome all the way from Germany. But no, sorry,
Yeah.
he lives in Sydney. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool though. You also share the podcasts with Jackson, don't you? We've mentioned this
Yeah.
before. I gave him a little shout out, I think. But how's he finding it, mate? Talk me through the I guess just the connection, what you do, the process with him, because that is, mate, that's pretty. I mean, I got to maybe curb the language on some episodes, but yeah, man, that is just.
No, but it's clearly, look, there's some get a pre-run first, and I basically just pick out certain things. Actually, at the moment, we've almost finished. So some of your podcasts, just to get, I thought, I'll bring him in so he can understand, and it's give him a bit of an introduction, what I'm doing it and why I'm doing it, certain things, so we can talk about that, because. On the days that I don't leave early, I've got gym some mornings, so he's always, oh, you're not going to gym tomorrow? Oh, okay. So we'll put it on. Look, and it's not every day, but yeah, so we'll do some of the podcasts, and we've done audio books, Ant Middleton. And it wasn't, you just don't realise. So we did an Ant Middleton one together, and that really interested him. And then we'd sort of, whether we pause it and then talk about stuff like that. It was to the point where I had an Ant Middleton book here, and he walked into the bedroom, picked it up. I said, do you want to borrow that? And he went, yeah, can I have it? And as a 12-year-old reading that, I'm like, mate, how good's that?
Did you rent it to him, mate? Rent it to him and charge him interest? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, should have.
At a library.
But the one at the moment, the Nathan Wallace one, the neurology of a teen brain. I mean, we're studying the science on a teen brain, mate. That is a game changer. To listen together, to listen with your kids at that sort of that age that works. Let's say teens, and that was just next level. To sit there and both laugh and look at each other and smile, and man, being a kid's hard. Like, I still remember, and that's where I put so much effort into helping him and trying to guide him, because I just remember the struggles of growing up and how a teen's brain works, and trying to get him to understand that. And this is just picking it all apart. And it's just it was almost a relief for him. And to dissect it. And I've passed Nathan Wallace on to so many people to say, guys, you've got to listen to this. Yeah, so that's been a really, really good one together. I drop him off at school and we'd sort of be sitting there. I think we were sitting in the line for another 4 or 5 minutes. He's like, I better go. You're holding everyone up, because we just wanted to keep listening to it. And that's pretty special to be able to do that with your kid. And him wanting to do it, and we're both learning together. So but that's a big shout out. The Nathan Wallace Neurology of a Teen Brain, just awesome. It just sucked us both in. And even if you're struggling, teens can drive you up the wall, and they literally think that everybody hates them. They come across, oh, you just hate me. You love all the other kids and hate me. That's a great one. If you get stuck with that, jump on, listen to it together, and it explains it all. So 100% that has to be done.
Oh, Wallace is phenomenal. Yeah, Nathan, we've got we'll have to get him back in. It's been a little while, but yeah, we've got a full series of his sessions. So those who are members in HPF, make sure you jump into our experts library, because there's mate, he's got some phenomenal stuff. Just even with what we call special time, he actually broke that down as like, this is why it's empowering to do it with them. It's like, oh wow, you give them control, and then it removes judgment, and they feel more vulnerable with you. Then they're willing to open up more and share. And it's like, oh wow, just sitting there next to your kid playing a computer game and not reacting if they say a swear word to test you out. Like, no, you have full control. Do whatever you want for the next 10 minutes. It's like, man, that's unreal. He's a legend. He's a legend. That's awesome.
Even to have it used at the dinner table the other night was, sorry, Dad, my brain's out for renovations. I'm only running on 10% now. You understand.
Yes.
Don't do it smarter.
So good.
Yeah. But just to go to that next level with your kids, it's killer.
Oh yeah. How do the wife and kids handle the dinner table, mate, when they just hear that soft little German voice in the background? You got one of Eric's sessions in the background just playing while you're eating. Eric joins us for dinner.
A calming effect, yeah.
That's the best. What's changed? What else has changed then, mate? Like you've obviously highlighted that there's some been positives with how you've leveraged or used HPF for the kids, but and with Aaron, but yeah, walk us through, mate. So what's changing your journey with HPF? Where are things at now for you, and what do you see moving forward?
Mate, just overall improvements everywhere. How to communicate with people better. I've helped, and as I said, you learn, your mindset changes, and it's been a huge mindset change for me, where you respect people more. You value other people's opinion more, which I'm learning to do. It's been a slow process, but 100% I'm doing that, and you just don't realize how many people are struggling. Like, I've done some things that I'm pretty proud of and happy now to help other people, just because, and for no real reason, just because it's the right, it's the right thing to do, and it makes you feel good. To the point where I'm sort of I resolve all the issues at work. When my office lady, she goes, if anything goes wrong, whatever it is, we had a few issues, and she goes, "You're so good at this." I'm like, and that was a good compliment to, everyone's going through so much stuff, and I'm just trying to help people, and it's it's good to go out of your way. Mum used to have a saying. She goes, if I can, my thing each day is, I'll be happy if I can do one good deed and help one person. I've had a good day. You know what I mean? And I remember that. And she's 100% right. Helping one person just for no reason, for no benefit to yourself, it's a good thing. So a lot of stuff like that. And as I said, even communicating, it's just opened up a lot of stuff. It took a lot of selfishness away. That a lot of things. Um, and health, man, health is just it, that's almost addictive too, isn't it? I thought, yeah, okay, and I've cut out. I always thought people would do dry July. I'm like, how on earth could you do that? I was a big drinker, huge, way too much. But now to the point where, we set some goals. I'll maybe just cut the drinking back to 2 to 3 days a week. Or, we get to the point where, do I even want to drink 2 to 3 times a month? Because I'm tracking my sleep. I know what alcohol does to sleep. It's almost addictive to see how much I can enhance my health and my body, because it just flows onto just a much better lifestyle. So, and I knew what it used to feel like to be shit. Diet, you go through all Ken Levander's stuff. He just sucks me. Okay, it's funny how your interests change. I'm so interested in everything like that, following little things, and just to see how many steps I can take, how much I can improve. And it's just everything's there for me. So I just keep going and going. I was, you know, I was worried at the start that I wasn't progressing, all in, or, go all in. I'm like, oh, but yeah, it takes a minute, but it's not a quick fix. It's a definite lifestyle change. So, and I've changing it for the better, finally.
Yeah, mate. And it's true, like it's not a quick fix, but you'd be surprised at how you can just generate some rapid results and runs on the board, just those micro wins. And it is hard, Matt. It's hard for everyone. But like you mentioned with being a teenage boy or being a woman who's got kids who are now growing up and their identity has been rearing them from day dot. And like it's fucking hard for everyone, mate. It's hard for us, but it's hard for
Yeah,
kids. So much
yeah,
change, way more change than us. Imagine that. They're growing, they're in an environment that is continuously changing every year with their siblings, another year, something different. Like it's crazy, isn't it? When you think about it, the kids just keep their entire childhood is change. Every year the
yeah,
house is different.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, for
In a
women as well.
toxic society too.
Yeah, and then the rest of the world just wants to eat you alive and have you do what it wills for you without any
Yeah.
interests. Without your best interest at heart, with a family
Mm.
nucleus and being a good, genuine woman or man, driven with
Yeah.
core values and integrity. It's crazy. But that's where I love this too. This game of investing in yourself and personal development, starting with you. Like be that which you wish to share with the world. So like I think you said your assistant or one of the office ladies. Like yeah, man, be that. So loving and kind, compassionate, giving clarity, openness and transparency. Like you look
Yeah.
at all those things. Like, cool. I've got to develop skills around communication. I've got to develop skills in my self worth and respect. And
Yeah.
I've got to respect myself. If I know what that feels like, well, then I know. Well, if I can give that to someone else as a common courtesy, then it'd be
Yeah.
well received. Where they otherwise, who knows what's going on when they go home, and they might get, not abused, maybe abused, or not
Mm.
respected,
Yeah.
maybe taken for a ride. Maybe it's like tough
Yeah.
for a lot of humans. So being that first, which you want to share with the world, is always the way, because then you know what the reward is, and you're the facilitator of that. That's why I talk about HPF now. Like it's literally a leadership organization. Like developing that leadership so that not under you, but everyone else within the realm of your influence can benefit.
Yeah. 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 It's been a good thing, but I think I'm finally getting there to, respect myself. Finally.
Mm, yes,
Mm.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, cutting the booze, mate. Just got to fuck that off. You'll get the best sleep scores in the world.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
I think I had a couple of Frangelicos. Didn't even have any beer on my birthday with my brother's, man, and my sleep score was like red zone 17%. It was disgusting. It was like usually 95 to 99%. Mate, I looked, I was like, wow, just from a couple of shots. I went to bed at like
Yeah.
10:30. I was like, wow, just that alcohol. I was like, mate, I don't think I want to drink it ever again. But maybe once a year, but that's it. You see how much And things are well with Erin now, mate. Obviously, she's upset. I know, I get it, it's hard, but I just can't. It's just hard, man. I can't be distracted with a high performance mother. Like I could nail it, absolutely. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't lead it. I wouldn't lead it. I think it would be what men should lead many things. But what I
yeah,
guess what I mean is I would definitely have a face of HPM. I think that's important for connection. Because I'm not a woman or a mother,
yeah,
but I could definitely knock it out of the park. But it's just it all comes at a cost, man. So tell her I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
mate, but I
Oh,
can't do it.
yeah, no,
Not yet.
no, that's it.
But
No, and they wouldn't listen to us anyway. So
that's right. That's why get another woman to get a woman
yeah,
to be the front.
but
But no, she's over the moon with your changes and results, mate. How are things?
oh look, I hope so. Actually, things like actually I've got to double check, but we've got our it's hard to struggle, hard to shuffle around and get stuff sorted. But we're going out for dinner tonight with just Darren and I. So and that's another thing, which was always we sort of she's that worn out. I've tried a few times. No, I said no. This is what we're going to do. We're going out for dinner tonight, so we've organised it. And I have to make time. I make plenty of time for the kids, and I'm making time for myself now. But um, I've got to make time for her, and almost force her to make time for us. That's a forever an ongoing battle that we just need to make time for us. So we'll do
Yes.
that tonight. Hopefully, have a nice dinner. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, they love it, mate. It's part of the core eight, relationship
Yeah.
leadership. Decisive leadership is a big one of that. It's I look through that hit list, which I'll do another podcast on, but one of the core ones there, I was like, mate, submission bigger than an individual for sure. Integrity, obviously, mystery and growth, play and lightness, sexual charge, like that's all well and good, but decisive leadership is a big one, man. We sat on that for ages. Well, when we went through it at the event at Penrith, and because it's so important. Like you're right, it's like pulling teeth. Sometimes you got to make a decision for them, but they need that and they want that, and it saves them the
Yeah.
mental bandwidth, gives them permission to step into their feminine, let the hair down. So, no, you'll have an amazing night, mate. Look, it's been a good session. I won't keep you too much longer, man. You probably got to start getting ready in hair and make. Well, not you, hair and makeup. Sorry,
Yeah.
but no,
Haven't got
look.
much.
Final awesome shares though, Matty. Thanks for jumping on and sharing your story and the changes and yeah, really proud of you, mate, and setting the standard as well for your children. Final thoughts, mate, takeaways, bits of advice in general, members, non-members, anyone listening. But yeah, any
Yeah.
final thoughts, mate?
Yeah, look, as I said, I thought originally when you got me on and said, let's do a podcast, I sort of went, my first thought was, mate, you've got the wrong guy. I'm just nobody. And legit thought that, and that's we've got that mindset. And it wasn't until it's just what we go to. And it wasn't until I had a chat with Erin, she's like, oh, you feel unworthy of this. I said, yeah, and put a bit of thought into it. And I went, yeah, you know what? I'm doing this stuff, and I took a big step. But it wasn't a big step. It's been an enjoyable step. Look, if there is guys, and I've recommended it and pushed it, but when your time's right, and when you're going to have to take that step, and even if you're not down in the, and I wanted to do this too as a personal development. I didn't realize I'd take it on as hard as I have and just literally smash it. I have, and I guess that's what you want. That's what you want to hear from a guy that jumps in and does it. And I can honestly say, I have gone all in. I thought at the start I was hesitant, and I just kept going. And you've got to do it. It's a if you want to, you got to work on yourself first to basically that's my thought now. I've got to work on myself to get what I want. And it's just killing it and loving it. So yeah, just do it. You got to do it. Why not?
Man, it's funny you mentioned that. Like I truly mean this, man, when I say like I look at discomfort or things that are uncomfortable as a drug. Like honestly, man, it's like an addiction for me now because I know, Matt. the fucking glory's on the other side, man. Like if you head
Yeah.
into something that's uncomfortable, not discomfort in how you sit in a chair, or like something that you genuinely
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh
Oh
man,
yeah.
this is gonna test me. This is gonna challenge me. Oh mate, I fucking run to that now. I'm like, yes, that's where the gold is. I'm telling you, man, like whether personal, professional, family, self, or
Yeah.
service, it's just something to conquer. I'm gonna fucking beat. I'll show you. I'm gonna beat this. It's gonna bring change, which typically if you are active towards it in pursuing it, not passive, the change will turn in your favor. And just the opportunities that you don't know
Mm.
exist that build off the back of it. It's incredible. You helping a couple of people that have been struggling. Could you have done that if you weren't in HPF? Maybe not. But you don't even know who that might have helped that you'll never
Mm.
even meet, through
Exactly.
mentoring people in the local community already. Already.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like Naz brought over 100 men through the gates. He's got no idea how many people he's helped that don't even know him yet. Like, wow,
Yeah.
just from a podcast, just like your podcast today. That's like that discomfort, that whether it's butterflies or I look for that. I
Mm.
love doing what I do, speaking on stage with the men now. But it's like, okay, well, I know the people in the subject. Give me 100, give me 10,000. It's like, all right, well, what can I do that's going to make me uncomfortable now? Like, how could I
Yeah.
change the experience? And because public speaking's like, mate, fucking love it, all over it. And that's not arrogance. Mate, it's reps, it's tens of thousands
Yeah.
of hours. So I love, but then look where you are. Like someone's impossible is just a another day in the office. Like that's pretty, not that you compare to others. It's just, what
Yeah.
is your identity? I guess coming back to what you said at the start, like I truly believe, man, that your identity is at a deeper soul level. Like it's what defines you is typically what you'll most consistently do throughout your life and your actions. So
Mm.
Matty, you are worthy. You are smashing it. Absolutely, you should be on the podcast, and not because of who you are or who you were or your name. It's because of the actions, man. I think that's what defines people's identities. To be fair, not
Mm.
a title
Yeah.
or a name. But could be wrong. But it's helped me
Nah, I
anyway.
like it.
Mm, yes, May Jackson, man, he's 12, just about turned 13. I think you said. I can't. Yeah, can't wait to see like the
Yeah.
children of the HPF men, like it's you hear them saying, I want to be a high performance father one day. And we get all these little, like I guess whispers, because it's for the dads, but they share bits and pieces from the kids. But I'm like, man, I can't wait to see in
Yeah.
10 years time what those kids are doing as adults. Like, fuck, it's
Yeah.
inspiring, man. But thank you for giving the time, mate.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Not too nerve wracking.
Oh no, yeah, I hope I didn't ramble too much, but yeah, I can do that when I get nervous. But nah, that was yeah, no, that was good. Thanks.
Ah, mate, it was phenomenal. So much value. I hope you guys enjoyed this and got plenty out of it. And have taken some key points from Matt, his life, his journey, his story, his perspectives, his takeaways, and take those key points and apply it immediately. Apply it to your life
Keep
and
pushing.
just keep going and growing. Just stick with it. Keep ripping in because you don't know what's possible, and that's a good thing sometimes if you apply
Mm.
yourself because you'll find out.
I'm
Thank you, mate.
excited. I'm excited to see where I can go.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you, mate. Thank you, man.
Cheers. Thank you.